express is a very long train. Every day, Gordon pulls the express from Knapford Station to Vicarstown Station at the end of the line. Sometimes, when Gordon isn't available to pull the express, other engines such as James and Henry fill in for Gordon. But nowadays, Henry has too much goods work on the main line to pull the express. He sometimes pulls passenger trains, but not as often as he used to. One evening, Henry was resting in the shed with the other engines, until Sir Topham had arrived. He had important news for the engines.
Gordon will be running some tests at the Steamworks all morning, and he won't be able to pull the express until 1 p.m. So tomorrow, Henry, you will pull the express to LIONSGATE, and Gordon will take over from halfway. So try to get the train to there, Henry.
Yes, sir,
said Henry. The next morning, the express train Henry was to take was ready. It was the Wild Nor'Wester, full of people from London, Scotland, and Wales. As Henry backed down onto the train, his fire was burning nicely and was letting off steam before setting off. James pulled up alongside. "You won't be as reliable as I am pulling the express when Gordon's not around. You haven't pulled it in years."
"Stuff and nonsense," said Henry. "I know how to pull trains like the express. I've been on this railway longer than you. Surely you're mistaken for another engine, James."
Just then, the guard blew the whistle, and Henry steamed out of Knapford Station onto the main line. Henry was making good progress. He was nearing Crosby Station. He steamed to a stop outside the station. Some of his passengers left the train, and some passengers on the platform boarded for their next destination. Henry smiled. He knew that he was doing a good job pulling the express. He was on time so far, and was giving the passengers a run for their money. Soon, Henry reached Edward Station. He had to take on water, but there was a problem. The water tower was low on water.
"Father,"
moaned Henry. "You'll just have to put up with it, Henry," said his driver. "Do you think you have enough water to get across Gordon's Hill?"
"I'll try," Henry said. "I mustn't be late for Sir Topham, Hatt, and Gordon."
But secretly, he was worried. When the guard blew the whistle, Henry set off to get across Gordon's Hill. When he reached the hill, Henry began to struggle up the hill. He was running out of water.
"Must get to the top. Must get to the top,"
Henry said to himself. The driver was concerned. "You can do it, Henry," he called out. Henry pressed on with all his might, but Henry was feeling weak. Because he was losing water, he was losing his strength, and the train was getting heavier. But Henry pressed on and made it to the top. But all that hard work lost all of Henry's water, and Henry came to a stop at the bottom of the hill. Henry was too tired to go on. He had empty tanks, and was stuck on the main line looking glum. James was passing by, and couldn't help laughing. "Fancy being a big reliable engine," he teased. Henry's driver phoned for help. Soon, Hero came to pull Henry to Marin to fill up on water. Once there, Henry was filled up with plenty of water and set off for the Steamworks. Henry had arrived, late, tired, but triumphant. Gordon was not impressed.
"You're late. It's 1:15. Really reliable, Henry."
Henry knew he was late, but he was pleased with himself, and so was his driver. As Gordon steamed away with the express, Henry's driver spoke to him. "You did a fine job, Henry. I was just informed that we're to pull a passenger train from Crovan into Thomas's branch line tomorrow. Are you up for it?"
"Of course I am," Henry said. I just pull the express so I can pull another passenger train with no problem.
Henry's driver and fireman laughed, and Henry just smiled, hoping that he would be able to pull the next passenger train, with or without water.